it's just like the PowerPoint says. Who is ready to rock it? I mean, I tell you what, when I finally got the opportunity to come out with this bait with SPRO, the stick bait deal was exciting, there's no doubt. But this is something that I have pushed for since the first year after I designed the stick bait. And they have put it on the back burner and put it on the back burner. And finally, as most of you know in here, as bad as I hate to say it, a lot of my table rock win was attributed to a wiggle wart. And it finally opened their eyes up enough to the fact that, hey, there really is something to that style crankbait. And it wasn't just my win. I mean, Brandon Polinick really kind of reawoke the wiggle wart 2 years ago in the Classic here at Grant. I mean, he made a strong push. But everybody always has associated the wiggle wart as the only bait that has been as successful as it has been in this area, and that's not necessarily the truth. And this goes into why I developed and designed this bait. I mean, growing up, I threw a wiggle wart a lot, but we also threw Model A bombers, we threw a lot of bandits, and there were a number of different baits that we have thrown through the course of the years. A Rebel, what was it, a We Are, I think it was. I mean, there were a ton of different crankbaits we threw that all had unique little features about them that I liked and other fishermen liked. So when I set out to design the Rock Crawler, it wasn't about knocking off a wiggle wart. And I want to clear that up because I get a lot of posts on Facebook and there's a lot of stuff floating around out there, oh, well, they knocked off the wiggle wart. Well, that isn't what we set out to do. I wanted to take the characteristics of all these crankbaits that I've thrown and mesh them into one. And we've done a pretty good job of it. I mean, it's it's turned out even better than I thought it could. I mean, come around and then you'll finally get to shake one of the final prototypes. But that was probably one of the keyest things about this bait that I was looking for, was something unique, something that you couldn't pick up every bait and it do or sound the same. And we've accomplished that. Now, as far as somebody that likes a rattle inversion, we will have a rattle inversion down the road, and we'll probably just add some real small shot to the bait to give it a consistent rattling sound. But the other thing about this bait that makes it unique, and I really spent a lot of time just like with the stick bait, is having a bait that has some adjustability to it. I mean, 2 or 3 various styles of baits that we have thrown over the years have always been horrible about the 2 hooks tangling when you throw them. I mean, that was one of the biggest things for years and years and years that I wanted to change about a wiggle wart, was why can't you make it so the hooks don't tangle? So basically we increased the length of it a little bit, and I actually moved the hook, the rear hook hanger, clear to the very rear of the bait. And a lot of people questioned me about that. In fact, I was at, and everybody in here familiar with Zoom and the crankbaits that Ed Chambers builds, the handcrafted crankbaits. I stopped in Zoom about 4 weeks ago and got to talking to Ed about, different crankbaits. And he's like, I hear you got a new crankbait coming. I was like, yeah, I got one out here in the truck. And he's like, well, I want to see that thing. So I went out and grabbed it and brought it in. And he looked at it, and he's like, well, you made one mistake. And I was like, well, what is it? And he's like, you put that hook on the rear of the bait. He said, you lost half your wiggle right there. And I said, Fred, I don't think so. Or Ed, I don't think so. I said, I've thrown it a lot. And I said, it still hunts. It's still, it's got that wide wobble. And he's like, let me take you out here in the tank and show you. So he grabs a wiggle wart, and he grabs my bait, and he gets his little rod, and we go out to his test tank. And he hooks my bait on, and he runs it through the tank about 3 times, and he's like, oh, I was wrong, let's go back in. So that, to me, was one of the greatest compliments I could have ever gotten. I mean, if anybody knows crankbaits, Ed Chambers knows crankbaits. And he's like, man, you did it. He said, I don't know how you did it, but he said, you've done something that freed the bait up so it will hunt and so it will wobble. So that's one of the unique characteristics.
I hope you enjoyed the preview clip, and for more like that and the entire collection, subscribe to the Bass University TV. And if you want the tackle that you see on there, I want you to go to the Bass University Tackle Shop, powered by Tackle Warehouse, and click right here, and it's all at your fingertips.
You want to become a better angler?
You want to catch more and bigger bass at your local pond?
Then check out Bass University TV for hardcore bass fishing information.
Hey, I'm Pete Gluzek,
And I'm Mike Iaconelli.
and this is Bass University TV.
Welcome to Bass University TV, an online video training course where you'll learn champion bass fishing techniques from pro anglers Pete Gluzek, Mike Iaconelli, and their talented special guests.
Everywhere I go in the country, I'm trying to use these techniques because I catch big fish that way.
From on the water to in the classroom,
We want to use that bait to help make that area even smaller and really find that sweet spot.
you'll learn sound techniques and strong fundamental bass fishing skills.
You want something that's got a nice limber action, that's going to allow you to build pressure and keep those hooks pinned against that fish's mouth.
Watch hours of video content on multiple topics at your own pace for a low monthly fee. Cancel at any time.
Hold on, because you're going to catch some big fish.
Information is power in the sport of fishing, so learn from the very best.
That's a key theory in all of fishing.
Subscribe to Bass University TV today.
Man, does it trigger a lot of strikes.
Here's the part that you're not going to hear anywhere else. This is the Bass University TV exclusive.